This is Kelso Sturgeon, and we have a lot to talk about today. It's the final day of the NFL regular season. To some people, you need a Philadelphia lawyer to figure out what's going on today as to who's in the playoffs, who's going to move up in status by winning, who's going to fall out of the picture by losing. We'll get to all that in just a minute. But this is one of the biggest days of the NFL season for me. A lot of handicappers will say, oh my goodness, we just don't bet the last week of the regular season. There's too many strange elements that are a byproduct of trying to get in the playoffs or improve your position in the playoffs or whatever. To them, it's a potential disaster. To me, it's one of the biggest opportunities of the season to make money. And today I'm releasing my 200-unit NFL blowout game of the year. I found the perfect spot to end the regular season making the big bucks. You know, every week presents different situations in handicapping in the NFL, and today is no different than any other week. We just add a few elements to these games, and quite frankly, 2 or 3 of them always grade out as standout winners. So today in the NFL, it's my 200-unit NFL blowout game of the year. Plus, I'm going for another 50-unit NFL Game of the Week. You can get both these games on this website or toll-free at 1-800-755-2255. I do accept all major credit cards. Now, if you'll permit me, I'm going to have to refer to my notes here. When you come to the last week of the season, obviously teams that need to win to improve their playoff status are going to have a better chance than those that don't, especially if they're playing a team that's out of everything and just going through the motions. There's several key games today. You know, New England has nothing to play for, absolutely nothing. They can't improve their position. They have the number 1 seed in the AFC. They have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. There's nothing they can do today to improve their situation. The Philadelphia Eagles are another team that today they host Dallas. Nothing they can do to improve their position. In fact, Coach Reed has already discussed the possibility of not playing his starters very much. I think the important thing that you need to do today is to look at each game, and you can get information on the internet. You can get information on the at NFL.com. You can get information on each team's website or whatever. You can pretty much decide for yourself what kind of an effort a team is going to put into this. A lot of teams that have already qualified for the playoffs, keep in mind, they can step up in the seedings. They can. There's still some first-round buys open. There's a lot of things to play for today, even on this last week of the season. For instance, Indianapolis and Jacksonville both absolutely have to win today to stay in, to get to the playoffs. You have the same situation where St. Louis is at Seattle. Here are 2 teams, not necessarily good teams, but one of them is going to win the NFC West and get into the playoffs. These teams play one another, and both have to win to get there. Pay attention to all the little details. If the playoffs were to start today, drawing first-round buys would be the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC, and it would find the New York Jets playing the Chiefs in the first round, and the Ravens playing the Baltimore Colts in the first round. All that could change depending on what happens today. In the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons and the Chicago Bears would draw first-round buys. The Packers would meet the Eagles, and the Saints would meet the Rams in the first-round wild card games. Once again, it's a pay-attention kind of day. Don't blindly bet a team thinking that today you're going to get what you've been getting, because teams that have nothing to play for may play for nothing and just go through the motions. Once again, today it's my 200-unit NFL blowout game of the year. Almost 100% confident I'll get the cash. 5-1 with my last 6 games of this nature on the last day of the season. Also my 50-unit NFL game of the week, intend to get the cash there too. You can get these games on this website or toll free at 1-800-755-2255.